Hi friends, I am so pumped to show you how to make this beautiful 3D rose cardigan, complete with buttons, complete with a border, complete with a waistband. I will first show you how to make these 3D motif roses, then we will look at assembling the cardigan, and then we will look at making the cuffs of the cardigan. Finally, we will look at making the buttons and then making the border and then assembling the border onto the cardigan. I hope that you enjoy the video. For materials, you're going to need yarn of your choice. I've gone for this navy blue colour. You'll need a crochet hook. I've used a 3.5mm crochet hook. In addition to that, you will need a darning needle and a pair of scissors. That's it, and let's get cracking. Let's chat a little bit about the design of the cardigan. Now, if you follow the pattern that I'm going to show you of the actual square, you're going to find that you end up with a 3.5 inch, let's call it a granny square. Now, I am a UK size 6 to 8. Yeah, around about a 6. Oh, I've written 18 there, 8. So I need to ensure that the cardigan fits my waist. Most importantly, my back is a little bit wider than my waist. So my cardigan needs to have, well, I'm going to have 4 flower, aka squares, going down because this is a crop cardigan. I need to have 2 panels going down like that. So this is for the front, okay? Now for the back, I'm gonna do 25. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. No, I'm not gonna do 25, sorry. I am dyslexic, so excuse my mental maths on this video. So I'm going to do 5 across, I'm going to do 4 going down. Now, what you really need to bear in mind is, because you need to accommodate for your neck space, you need to have an even number at the front. So your 2 panels need to be even numbers. You must have an odd number at the back, because this is going to accommodate for the back of your neck, okay? Example, if you're a UK, let's say size 10 to, I don't know, 12, you might want to go ahead and add another panel here at the front, like that. But you're not going to be able to accommodate a neck space with the same back panel here. So you're going to have to add 2 panels here at the back. I do have a video that I uploaded about 4 months ago, and the name of the video is how to measure and plan for your granny square cardigan. That speaks in a lot more detail about sizing measurements, because we're all unique body shapes and sizes. So have a think about how much of your body a 3.5 inch square or motif covers. If you need any help with measuring anything like that, drop in the comments box below and I'll be more than happy to assist you. So we're gonna just ignore that. I need to add, of course, arms onto this. Now you see with arms, I would strongly recommend make your 2 front panels first, because you see this panel here, this last panel here, the second panel, this isn't going to fit on your shoulder like that. Your shoulder's going to go like that. There's going to be a drop. So a lot of this square is going to actually cover your shoulder. So please don't look at the square and think, oh, my arm is X amount of inches long. This is the measurement that I need my arm to be. You must factor in that this square is going to overlap a little bit around your body and a little bit around your waist. I'm going to tell you a little bit more about what I mean by that. So what I meant by that is, look, this is my mannequin. You can see the first row but the second row is actually sitting here. Look, it's going to be on my actual shoulder. And the second row, if I lift up the arm and show you, can you see it wraps around my waist? That's what I mean. So you need to ensure that you've got 2 even front panels and then odd back panels. We've got the design and the plan ready. So let's now think a little bit about the arms. You need to make sure that your arm measurement wraps around your entire arm. So I've got really, really skinny wrists, but my actual arm is kind of chunky. So a 3.5 inch times 3.5 inch isn't going to be enough. I need to do 3 panels around my arm. So I'm going to do 3 panels and simply join them together. You can do 4 panels if you need to. The arm doesn't really matter. You're going to be able to attach that regardless. And I'm going to talk a little bit more about that when I start to seam the cardigan together in the video. But again, if you feel overwhelmed by this at all, you don't know what to do with sizing, etc., can you please drop in the comments below and I'll be more than happy to help you. We are going to start by just securing our yarn. I secure my yarn like this just by twisting it. We're going to go ahead, chain 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Gonna drop a slip stitch or a single crochet into the first chain to make this hole to work into. Gonna chain 2, and we need 8 cluster stitches to make these petals around. Just give you a little bit of a close-up there. So we are going to do a double crochet in the center. That's the first cluster. Chain 1. Start to double crochet. Stop there, don't complete it. Start your second double crochet. Don't complete it. You've got 2 strands of yarn on your hook. Pull through both of them. So you've got a cluster of 2 there. So we've got 2 double crochets. Chain 1. And we're going to repeat this until we've got 8 in total. So it's a double crochet, don't complete it though. Second double crochet, don't complete it. 3 strands of yarn on the hook, pull through all of them. Chain 1. Start to double crochet, don't complete it. Second start of a double crochet, don't complete it. 3 strands of yarn on the hook, pull through all of them. So 1, 2, 3, 4 so far. Chain 1. Three strands of yarn, pull through all of them, chain 1. Now I've got 5. 3 strands of yarn, pull through all of them. Now I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Whoop. That's better. Pull through all of them. And the last one. Three strands of yarn, pull through all of them. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Chain 1, and we're going to slip stitch into the first stitch, like this. We are now going to make the first round of petals. We've got 8 petals in this pattern. So we're going to chain 3, 1, 2, 3, and at the end of each double crochet cluster, just drop a slip stitch. We're going to do that all the way around. Chain 3, drop a slip stitch, chain 3, drop a slip stitch, chain 3, 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 slip stitch. I've got 8 petal spaces. Slip stitch into the first space. Now for the first round of petals, half double crochet, 2 double crochet, half double crochet, single crochet. I'm going to repeat this in all remaining 7 petals. Slip stitch into the next one, half double crochet, 2 double crochet, half double crochet, single crochet. Slip stitch into the next space, half double crochet, 2 double crochet, half double crochet, single crochet. Slip stitch into the next space, half double crochet, 2 double crochet, half double crochet, single crochet. Slip stitch, half double crochet, 2 double crochet, half double crochet, single crochet. Slip stitch, half double crochet, 2 double crochet, half double crochet, single crochet. Slip stitch into the next space, half double crochet, 2 double crochet, half double crochet, single crochet. Slip stitch, half double crochet, 2 double crochet, half double crochet, single crochet. Slip stitch into the first petal there. This is our first round complete. Let's look at making round 2 of the petals, and that's this round here. Now what we're going to do is chain 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Turn your back around, and we're gonna single crochet in the back posts here between the petals. You can slip stitch if you wish to, but I'm too lazy to do that. Chain 4, slip stitch in the back post between the petals. 1, 2, 3, 4. Gonna do that all the way around. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Kaboom. 1, 2, 3, 4. Single crochet. 1, 2, 3, 4. And between the 2 petals. 1, 2, 3, 4. And the last one. Slip stitch into the first petal space. Like that. So we've now got 8 petal spaces to work into. Turn your work back around. Just fold the petals over, and we're going to work into the back posts. I've slip stitched into the first space there. I'm going to drop a half double crochet. I'm going to drop 3 double crochets. Half double crochet. And then a single crochet. And I'm going to slip stitch into the next post space and repeat this exact pattern all the way around. Half double crochet, 3 double crochet. 1, 2, 3, half double crochet, single crochet, next space, slip stitch into it, half double crochet, 3 double crochet. 1, 2, 3, half double crochet, single crochet, slip stitch into the next space, half double crochet, 3 double crochet, 1, 2, 3, half double crochet, single crochet, next space, slip stitch into it, half double crochet, 3 double crochet, 1, 2, 3, half double crochet, and then slip stitch. Next space, slip stitch into it, half double crochet, 3 double crochet, half double crochet, and single crochet. Slip stitch into the next space, half double crochet, 3 double crochet, 1, 2, 3, half double crochet, single crochet, and the last space, slip stitch into it, half double crochet, 3 double crochet, 1, 2, 3, half double crochet, single crochet, and always slip stitch into the first petal space there like that. Round 2 is complete. Let's crack on with round 3. This time chain 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Turn your work around, and we're going to work in row 2's back posts. Single crochet, chain 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The back post is right there. Chain 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Single crochet, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Back post, 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 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And the last one. As always, slip stitch into the first petal space. Turn your work around, and we're gonna slip stitch back into that petal that we're working into. This time half double crochet as normal, but 4 double crochet. 1, 2, 3, 4, half double crochet, single crochet, slip stitch into the next petal space, half double crochet, 4 double crochet, 1, 2, 3, 4, half double crochet, single crochet, slip stitch into the next space, half double crochet, 4 double crochet, 1, 2, 3, 4, half double crochet, and a single crochet, slip stitch into the next space, half double crochet, 4 double crochet, 2, 3, 4, half double crochet, single crochet, slip stitch into the next space, half double crochet, 4 double crochet, 1, 2, 3, 4, half double crochet, single crochet, slip stitch into the next space, half double crochet, 4 double crochet, there, half double crochet, single crochet, next space, slip stitch, half double crochet, 4 double crochet, 1, 2, 3, 4, half double crochet, single crochet, and the last space, slip stitch into it, half double crochet, 4 double crochet, 1, 2, 3, 4, half double crochet, single crochet. And as always, to finish off with, go ahead and slip stitch into the first petal space there. Let's make the background of the flower, or the base that the flower actually sits on. This is really necessary because we need this to connect these motifs together to make a cardigan. It's almost like a granny square if we flatten it out a little bit. So we're going to go ahead, chain 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Same thing, turn the work around, and we're working in the back posts again. Chain 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Single crochet in the back post. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Back post. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Slip stitch. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Back post. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Back post. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Back post. And the last one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Back post. Again, slip stitch into the first space there. And I'll slip stitch back into that first petal there. So we need to make a corner, 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 and a corner. How we're going to do that is we're going to drop a half double crochet, 2 double crochet, 2, 1 triple crochet, chain 3, to a picot stitch. That means a single crochet in these 2 spaces here. Repeat the same thing the other way. Triple crochet, 2 double crochet, half double crochet, single crochet. That's 1 corner. Slip stitch into the next chain space, 2 double crochet, 1, 2, chain 2, picot stitch. So we're making almost a bridge to get to the next corner, but we don't want it to be bigger than the corner because we want this to almost act as a granny square, so it's easier for us to join the motifs together. 2 double crochet, half double crochet, single crochet. Voila. Make another corner in the next space. Slip stitch, half double crochet, 2 double crochet, 2, triple crochet, chain 3, picot stitch, triple crochet, 2 double crochet, half double crochet, single crochet. Next space, slip stitch, half double crochet, 2 double crochet, chain 2, picot stitch, 2 double crochet, 2, half double crochet, single crochet. Make the next corner. slip stitch into it, half double crochet, 2 double crochet, 1, 2, triple crochet, chain 3, picot stitch, triple crochet, 2 double crochet, half double crochet, single crochet. The next space, slip stitch into it, half double crochet, 2 double crochet, chain 2, picot stitch, 2 double crochet, half double crochet, single crochet, and the final turn, slip stitch, half double crochet, 2 double crochet, triple crochet, chain 3, picot stitch, triple crochet, 2 double crochet, half double crochet, single crochet, and the last petal space, slip stitch, half double crochet, 2 double crochet, chain 2, picot stitch, 2 double crochet, half double crochet, single crochet, slip stitch into the first petal, and voila, there we have our flower. Beautiful, 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 beautiful. I'm going to crack on and make quite a few of these, and then I shall meet you back when we're ready to join these. Let's now start to put these motifs together. I'm going to start to do the front panels first, then I'm going to do the back panels, and then I'll do the arms. But I just want to show you how I'm going about stitching these motifs together. I'm going to use a crochet hook. You can use a needle if you wish to. So I'm just going to go into the corner and slip stitch like this. And then I'm going to go into the next corner and slip stitch like that. And that simply is it. I'm gonna grab my needle, gonna grab my scissors, snip the yarn like that, and just pull that tight, and then hide these threads away. I'm going to make the panels separately and then put them together afterwards, because I need to make sure that I position the sleeves correctly, because I've got an odd number of motifs around my arm. I've got 3. I'm going to chain 1 in between and then just connect the center like that. I'm going to snip, pull that through, and then I'll hide that. There. Chain 1 and then into the next corner. Pull that through like so. I really like this diamond shape that has been created through stitching like this. Ta-da. The next motif, like that and like that. So I think I'm gonna stitch on this side first. Chain one, chain one. I don't know if it would be easier or more difficult to use a sewing needle, but I feel that my hands work faster with a crochet hook, which is why I've opted for one. That. Chain one. As you can see, I'm leaving a little bit of a longer tail to thread in, just because if we leave a little bit of a longer tail, it's easier to hide and it's more likely to remain hidden rather than just pop out. Now I'm gonna do the join here last, because I think I may need to put one or two more chains in between. We shall see how we get on with that. I'm just gonna connect this side first. I'm gonna run this bit back up this way. Do that bit to that bit. And again, this bit, let's look at connecting this bit here now. I'm gonna do this first. I'm gonna chain one, and then I'm gonna pick up this side and just pull it through. I'm gonna chain one in between and then stitch this way. And just see how that looks. Yeah, that looks good. I just don't want the stitch in the center to be too tight. Like, I want them to sit nice and like loose, not like scrunched up together. And I think that's quite nice and loose there. So I'm just gonna hide this. Like that. So, and then I'm going to, of course, attach these two together. So you get the gist of it. I'm going to carry on with working these panels, and then I shall be back when I finish the panels loosely, and then we'll look at connecting all the panels together and bringing it together. Here we have my arms joined. So I've got two arms. I have my back panel, and then I've got my two front panels right here. So here's my back. Of course, I'm putting it back to front as if I'm going to lie on this. I'm going to bring in my 2 front panels. I'm going to secure the top first. So this is my shoulder and my shoulder. Exactly the same way using a crochet hook. So I'm going to pin it there, pin it there, pin it there. I'm not going to do any stitching on the sides of the body, just the 2 top bits here. So I'm going to go ahead and do that off camera. I'm going to do it off camera because you know how to stitch already. We're going to do it exactly the same way as we did when we put these motifs together. So I have connected the 2 shoulders to the back body, and we're going to start to connect the arms to the cardigan. So now you see the arms. If you've got 4 motif or squares going across, you must ensure that your cardigan balances. What I mean by that is I only got 3, so I need to make sure that you see this seam here. This is where the cardigan folds on my shoulder. I need to ensure that the middle of my motif sits right here on the end there, because this cardigan needs to fall in line with the drop of the body. So if you've got 4, let's say for argument's sake there's another row here and the cardigan folds like that, you're going to want to make sure that when you half your sleeve, it matches up with where your shoulder folds, like that. So I'm going to go ahead and connect this like so to the cardigan. I've now changed to a needle from a crochet hook because I'm lazy and that's all I could find. So I'm going to just go ahead and seam the shoulders to the arms. I'm just doing a couple of knots, and I'm going to grab my scissors and just snip. Well, I've got that slap bang in the middle there. I need to connect this bit to this bit now, like that. So this end will go to this end. Just going to double knot. Snip. And then we've got this end to this end here. Then we've just got one more left, like that. Snip, and then the last bit that will be connected to the center of the body, like that. double knot, and now I'm going to do the same at the back. So can you see that taking place now? If I just move that around, that's my shoulder there, and that's the body there, there's the arm. So I'll just turn this around and carry this on. So I'll stitch that to that, and I'll be back when I've stitched just up until here to the arm, because then we're going to need to fix the sides. Okay, so I have attached the sleeve to the body of the cardigan, and this is what we're looking like so far. What I'm going to do now is I am going to go ahead and stitch along the arm and the side of the body like this. So I'll go up the arm, side of the body, and then I'll do the other side. And then when we come back, we're going to talk about borders, we'll talk about edgings, we'll talk about buttons, we'll talk about sleeve cuffs and the rest of it. So I shall get cracking with that off camera, because this video will be about 700 hours long if I go ahead and fix everything on camera. So with that, don't go anywhere. It is looking like a cardigan now. So I've got the shoulders, got the lower part of the cardigan, and I've got the arms here. Let's start cuffing and adding a border and a border around the body next. So I've already made one cuff. I'm going to show you how to make a cuff but using the other side. I'm going to grab my 3.5mm crochet hook, and I'm going to go ahead and chain 11. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Now, I'm going to skip the first stitch, and we're simply going to single crochet until we reach the end. I am going to rib the cuff just as I've shown you on the other side, because I think it's going to bring the cardigan in a lot more and just make it fit nicely on the body. Just trying to get into that last stitch there. There we go. What we're going to do now is we're going to chain one, turn around, and we're going to start to rib this. How we rib is we are going to go in the first stitch. So can you see that there's 2 stitches, and single crochet all the way until we reach the end. So we're not going through both stitches and double crocheting. Sorry, we're not going through both stitches and single crocheting. We are only going through the back stitch. And look, I just want to show you here. Can you see how that rib pattern is coming to life already? Now look here. The normal I would look at this and think, okay, chain one, turn around. No, there is still another stitch here. It's right there at the back. You must get into every single stitch or your cuff will be uneven. Chain one, turn the work around, and single crochet all the way until the end. So you're going to keep going until you're happy with the length of your cuff. So I'm going to ensure that this cuff fits nicely around my wrist. And I think I'm going to need about 24 single crochet chains in order for this to fit my wrist. So I'm going to crack on with this off camera, and then I shall come back. Right, so I have finished my cuff. It fits nicely around my wrist. I can get it off and on my hand. What I'm going to do now is I'm just going to go ahead and single crochet this together, or slip stitch it if you wish to. There is no right or wrong side to the cuff because it's very much the same pattern. So it's the same either way. Just get the very last stitch in. Like so. There we go, done. Now let's look at stitching the cuff to the actual arm. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and chain one, and I am going to slip stitch into the corners of the flower and the center of it. So I'm going to go and slip stitch here, and we need to make sure that this entire sleeve is connected to this little cuff. So I'm not faffing around with any sewing needles, so I'm just going to single crochet around the cuff in order to connect it to this. So I'm going to pick up the next bit that I need to connect to the cuff, which is the center of this rose. So I'm going to drop a slip stitch just like that, and every few other chains I'm going to connect a bit of the arm to the cuff. So I've done about 4 single crochets, so now I'm going to connect the next bit to the cuff. I just want to show you what I'm doing here. So if I really pull that, can you see that entire rose flowers become connected to this side? But I need to connect another 2 to it. So I'm just being really, really mindful that every like 3 or 4 stitches, I need to connect a little bit of this. So I've done 3 single crochets. Now I'm going to go straight back in and connect a bit more of the arm, and I shall carry on single crocheting around. I'm just going to check how much space I've got left. So I've got to get that much cuff stitched into this much space. So I've done about 3 single crochets, Now I'm going to connect that corner like this. And let's finish off the rest. Now, what have I got left? Oh, I've only got 1 bit left, and I think I will connect that slap bang in the middle of the space that I've got left. So I shall do 3 single crochets this time. And now I will pick up the middle of that rose flower, single crochet, and I'm going to just carry on single crocheting until I reach the end. And when I get to the first single crochet stitch, I'll just slip stitch into that, grab my scissors, and I will snip the yarn. Of course I will hide this away later, but check that out. Can you see how beautiful and seamless that looks? And it really brings in the entire arm together. Let's look at putting a border around the actual body of the cardigan now that we've done the sleeves. Let's talk a little bit about the actual body of the cardigan. I have safety pinned this together because I want to show you how it's going to look on our body. just going to put my arms through it because I'm wearing a black cardigan. You're going to be able to see it better. Voila. I've got the armholes here. Of course, the arms are going to be stuck on like this. But I'm going to do 2 rows going down like this. The back portion, I am doing 5 across and 5 the other way. Now, one thing that's really, really important is you need to make a neck hole. And my neck hole is right there. So there needs to be a space for your neck to go through. So the amount of, so the rows in the back, they need to be odd always. So much gunk on the top. It's actually spaghetti sauce. I don't know if you can see that. I'm such a messy eater. I'm like a 5-year-old child. Can you see how that fits? So I'm going to show you the back profile as well. Like that. So this neck is perfect for me. I've got 5 rows at the back and I'm doing 2 at the front. Now, as you can see, a little bit of a that's fine for me because I'm going to add a panel here in blue. I might do buttons on this piece. I am going to do a little bit of a panel at the bottom as well. Now, if you are, let's say, a size 12, UK 12, bigger than 8, what you must do is you must ensure that your panels sit comfortably around this bit of your, around the clavicle of your neck. Otherwise, when you attach your arms, your cardigan's just going to go like that. Okay? You may choose to do, I don't know, 3 panels on each side, because I've done 2. 3, 3, 6 in total. For your back, you're going to need 7. Because remember, at the back, it needs to always be odd. Because you need this neck space. Okay? If you've got a discrepancy here, that's not a problem. We can always attach a border and cover and add a few inches to the front of it. But please do perfect the size of your cardigan. You may grab some safety pins. Just make sure it fits before you put it all together. I'm very much a free crocheter, so I don't necessarily introduce patterns to my work because, let's face it, we're all unique body sizes, frames and shapes. I have a waist, which is a UK size 6. I don't have much bust, but my arms prevent me from being a UK 6. So I don't fit in a 6, but an 8's too big for me. This is why I don't introduce patterns, because we're all so unique. So get into the habit of free crocheting, please. Anything you see on my channel, it very much is free crocheted. Because design garments to your own body size, there's nothing more liberating than that. So voila, we've spoken a little bit about the shape and the size. Cuffs are looking beautiful, arms are looking beautiful. Let's look at the bottom waist portion of our cardigan next. Now this bottom bit, I am going to rib it. The border around the neck, we're not going to rib it. I've decided to do the bottom bit of the border before we do the neck border. So I am going to attach this border exactly like I've attached to the arms. So I do need to take it in just a little bit. I need to factor in the fact that the border around the neck, around the body, it's gonna probably come to about here on this side and about here on this side. So the size of this shouldn't change too much. I'm just gonna take it in just a little bit. So I am gonna go ahead and I'm going to chain 11 again. I'm keeping the width exactly the same as I did with the arm cuffs. So I shall chain 11. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Just like I measured the cuffs around my wrists, I'm just going to plonk this around my waist just to make sure that it fits and I'm happy with it. I am going to leave a little bit of leeway. I don't want it too tight like I've made the cuffs. So again, I'm going to crack on with this off camera, and then I shall come back when I've got the right length according to my waist. I am going to be measuring it accordingly. When I get to the end though, I am not going to connect the ends together, of course, because it's a cardigan, isn't it? So I shall carry on with this and I shall be back. I have made a waistband. It's looking something like this. I just want to show you how big I've made this in comparison to the width that I have of the waist. My waist is pretty tiny, but I don't want this too tight around my waist. So as you can see here, I've got about that much give left. So I'm going to seam this much, or in other words, absorb this much into this waistband. I'm going to go ahead and join this waistband exactly as we joined the cuffs of the arms. So I'm just going to go ahead, chain one, and I'm going to connect to the first corner, slip stitch, and I'm going to single crochet until I reach the next bit of the motif that I need to join to, which is going to be the next corner, which happens to be the center of this flower. So I'll just single crochet, because obviously I don't want this too tight. I'm going to go in here, the center of that flower. I always end up crocheting so many of my hair into my work, because when I'm done with my work I tend to plonk it on the floor and I shed like a dog. I think we're good to do another stitch. I think I will do just a couple more stitches. Yeah, and then I'll connect to the next base. So can you see what I'm doing here? I'm gonna just carry that on all the way around as evenly as I can, and I shall be back when I've joined the waistband to the cardigan to talk to you about buttons and the border around the neck and the body of the cardigan. Waistband is ready. Let's look at adding the border. This is what my waistband is looking like on my cardigan, and I am loving it so far. Let's crack on with the border around the cardigan. First things first. I've got 3 buttons here. Of course, I've made these buttons myself. I'm going to show you how to make the buttons. You're going to grab your yarn, grab your crochet hook and secure the yarn, chain 2. If you're wanting a bigger button, chain 3. Slip stitch or single crochet into the first chain, chain 1, and you are going to go ahead and single crochet in the center until you reach the end. and there's the button. Now, if you would like a more exaggerated button, more of a 3D button, you shall slip stitch into the first chain. You see the hole? You will carry on single crocheting in the hole all the way around the button until you have no more space left anymore. I'm not going for too much of an exaggerated button because I feel like it's going to take away from the beauty of the cardigan. So you're going to carry that on all the way around and stop when you feel like it. Slip stitch like that when you're ready. Snip your yarn and tuck the yarn in. That's your button done. Now I'm going to have my buttons on the right hand side, so I'm going to start the border on the right hand side, and I'm not going to rib the border just because if we rib the border and around the neck, the cardigan's going to go scrunchy like this. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to chain 6 and see how I feel about that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So if I chain 6, I'm checking how much of the flower I'm going to cover, because remember this is the neck portion. So I'll be covering that much. That'll be on one side and that much on the other. That's not enough. 6, 7, 8, 9. I might as well round it up to 10. Now that's more like it. So I've chained 10 for the border. I shall chain one more because we're going to skip a stitch. And what I'm going to do is I'm simply going to skip the first stitch and I'm going to double crochet all the way up until the end. Yeah, perfect. Chain one. I'm going to turn around. I'm going to chain another one. And I'm going to carry on double crocheting. Carry on working on this length all the way up until I've covered the bottom of the cardigan from the right hand side all the way up until I reach this side here. Then I'm going to stop and come back and tell you what to do, because what we need to do is adjacent to where we're placing the buttons, we need to add the holes where the buttons can fit into. Now I'm not going to do 2 separate borders and then join them at the top. It's too much faff. I'm going to literally go ahead, do a length, get till here. I'm going to grab some yarn. I'm going to stick the border to the right hand side here, and then I'm going to mirror the rest of the border on the way down. So I shall carry on working on this length and then I'm going to come back. I've gotten to this much length so far. Of course, that is not enough for me to go all the way around. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab some of my yarn and I'm going to start to stitch this border to my cardigan. I'm literally just going to bend it back like this because you see the bottom part that we ribbed. I need to just do a slip stitch secure. So I'm just going to slip stitch in to the last stitch of the ribbed border. Just chain 1, and then I'm just going to go ahead and just single crochet or slip stitch like this. I would have done this with a needle, but because of the way that the rose flower petal square bits are designed, it's just going to be easier to do with a crochet hook. I'm going to fix the border to the squares exactly as we did when we were fixing this ribbing on the bottom. So I'm going to go ahead and literally just single crochet all the way up this, but I really need to make sure that this is straight and it's not pulled in, otherwise it's going to become ribbed. We don't want a ribbed border on the actual body, so I'm really straightening it and making sure that the motifs are level or in line with the border. So I need to drop about 3 more single crochets. So if I lay that flat, now I can see that that's in line with the bit that I need to stitch with, like this. I have fixed 1, 2, 3 buttons. I'm going to do the 4th now. I don't think this 4th is needed, but I made it and I don't want to waste it. So I'm just going to go ahead, and secure my yarn using a darning needle to the button. Like this, I'm just double knotting, and I'm placing the buttons right in the center of the flower just because I think a marker is necessary. So I am just gonna go ahead and just sew the button on like this. I'm gonna go inside the button and then inside the cardigan, and again in the center of the button, like that. Just making sure that I'm sewing in the center of the button, not too much on the exterior, like the bottom bit here of the button. If we do that, we're gonna have a hard time closing our button. So what I'm gonna do now is I'm just gonna take the yarn that I have already, the tail of the yarn rather, and I'm just gonna double triple knot it. I'm gonna go ahead and weave in like that. Grab my scissors, snip, like that. Now let's look at making holes in the border to fit inside the buttons. Okay, so I have turned my cardigan upside down because I am right-handed, and I've leveled up the rose petals like so. Now we need to make a hole for this button to fit through. This is quite simple. What I'm going to do is I'm going to simultaneously join the border to the stitches while I'm progressing with the border. So I've chained 2 as I would. I'm going to turn my work around. I'm going to double crochet as usual. I'm going to double crochet again as usual. Then I am going to double crochet again as usual. Then what I'm going to do is chain 1, skip the next double crochet chain. I'm going to go in the following one, and I'm going to double crochet into the next stitch as usual. I'm going to double crochet in the next stitch as usual, and then I'm going to double crochet in the next stitch as usual. There's my whole button. I'm just going to chain 2 and stop there. I want to show you how this fits. Literally like so. It's a really beautiful fit. It's nice and taut. So I'm going to carry on like this. Now, if you've got a smaller buttonhole, what I would recommend is chaining 1, but not skipping a stitch. So double crochet straight into that space. So you will have a gap for your button, but it will just be a little bit smaller than what you see here. On that second row, see that hole that I just made for the button? I'm going to casually double crochet into it, almost as if it's a normal stitch, but it's not. Chain 2. So I will carry this on off camera, just because we will be here for quite a few hours if I carry on. And this literally is the final touch. So after I've finished these buttons, I'm going to show you the final result of what this cardigan looks like. Please stay tuned for the final reveal. Okay friends, this is the final result. I am so chuffed with this. I'm so glad that I chose this beautiful navy blue colour. It really pops, and I hope that I can wear this probably on top of a black, maybe a legging, or maybe like a black top. I think the colour will really pop. I hope that this video was helpful for you. Thank you so much for watching, and have a blessed day.